I'm doing it for my daughter.
Oh, I was talking about the people I don't like working with. One is where they think that their work is so just awesome, and that's a feminine trait. The feminine is like you're valued for your innate beauty.
Yeah.
Like women are, and this is the way you talk to a girl, like as a child, you say, "Oh, you're such a princess. You're so beautiful. You're so wonderful. You're going to be amazing someday." And that doesn't change. That's how you talk to them when they're 20. "Oh, you're so amazing. You're so beautiful." With a boy, you talk to a boy like that till he's like 5 years old, and then after that, you start putting expectations on him, and the world starts putting expectations on him. Even in school, it's like when if you're like a 15-year-old guy, you're like a maggot. You know what I mean? Even if you were a football stud or something in your high school, you talk to older kids, you're still like, get this kid out of here, scrub. Get out of here, scrub.
You want to be a big football player, throw the ball 1 million yards.
Yeah, so men, they as they mature, what they're valued for is what they're able to do, like their agency, their power, etc. But like wanting to be valued for who you are innately, like I want unconditional love from Joey. Like I want Joey to think that no matter what I do,
I ain't loving you until you do
best.
something to make me love you.
Yeah. So
that's what a real G would say to you if you said that.
Yeah. So the people who are creative, they have this tendency to like, because I made it, it's the best thing ever. And if you reject it, you're rejecting me. And I don't like that.
I hate that.
That's one thing I can't work with. And those people are so they're so fragile too.
Yeah.
There was this guy talking about how the U.S. Marines hiring, and they have a chart with like ability, and then like
obedience, probably
some of the fidelity, like loyal, group loyalty, or like their ability to meld with the group or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like a guy who's got high loyalty or high meshes with the group and gets along socially and has a good character, even if he's not so good performance wise, like he can't do the obstacle course the fastest or whatever, he's not the best marksman. They would take him over the top performing
antisocial marksman.
Antisocial guy. Yeah, basically, yeah.
The goth sniper.
Yes.
Get away from me, Sam.
Or like the high performance guys who have faulty personalities. It's like they're overly alpha. Like it is actual toxic masculinity where it's like, you staring at me? Fuck you mean?
Oh, great.
Like
we got Magnums over here, loose cannon.
Yeah, like the kind of thing like you fucking if that happens on a battlefield you'd get killed because of it. You know what I mean? Like
the Ukrainian snipers look through their reticle at you, pointing a gun at another guy in like a fit of rage. They're like, look, this guy's fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I think he touched his bullets or something. He's fucking heated.
And that's one thing. Like I don't expect the people that work with me to like think that it's a military situation, but there is a sense where like if you're the type of person that would yell at somebody in a car, like that just doesn't that's insane. Like that doesn't work. You can't exist in my world. Like you have to go. Like if you're driving and like, so imagine driving and someone's like yelling at you, and you're going 80 miles an hour and you're like 3 feet behind like an SUV or something, like. The type of people aren't aware of these situations where like not death, but like you can do negative 2 years of damage to your life like quickly in a situation because you were being loud in a Spanish neighborhood or something, and like someone punched your teeth out, like something like there's just little situations. It's not all like street defense shit, but it's like there are times where like if I don't call back somebody about merchandise, or if I don't make it to the FedEx store on time, or if someone's like, if you're yelling at me, if a car accident were to happen right now when this is uninsured or this is it's just there are things where like you do actually need to have your head screwed on like pretty solidly straight. Like there's a time and a place to go crazy. Like, like go to your house.
There's a mission at hand for the most part. You should be on a rail, and for you to be like, no, I'm gonna fucking. Yeah, I'm gonna let something else derail this, or
if you're gonna go wild and like get really drunk or like pissed off or something, you got to compartmentalize that into somewhere where you know it's like safe to do. Like the other type of person that a no-no for working with is people who are in love with problems, meaning like the engineering of the work problem. There's this psychological thing that people do. It might be called like competence validation or something. I don't know what the term is, but it's like if you're good at something, there's a pleasure to repeating it over and over again. And this is what happens with video game players who are good at like Dota and games that are like technical, probably shooters too. It's like your the sense of validation you get from doing something rote, like you know the ice cream guy that gives you the ice cream cone, then takes it away, and he flips it around. And he takes the cone, then he gives you the ice cream, but then he puts the cone on top. Yeah, like that type of shit. Like shit that's hard to do, but like ultimately meaningless.
Like the IT guy.
Yeah.
Move. Jimmy Fallon used to do that in SNL.
Yeah.
Did you backlog your thing?
Yeah.
I did that. Did you clear out your browser history? I did that. Did you format in GT4X?
Yes.
And they're like, no, I didn't. And they're like, move.
Yeah.
Like that guy.
Yeah.
Which is a problem guy.
And that's anybody who's good at something has the danger of falling into that. But that happens a lot with computer art type work, because there's a lot of stuff that's not actually creative. It's just sort of like button pushing. Have you ever seen someone play with a synthesizer for the first time, or any time ever? Like if you're playing with it, like you're twiddling knobs and like finding a noise that you like. Yeah. And it's like it feels like you're doing fucking NASA work, but you're doing nothing. Yeah. You're basically just
you're in Notepad on a computer that's not even on a server.
It's not even on.
Yeah.
It's not
You're
even
drawing
on.
like a circle in like mouse pad.
Yes.
Somewhere, and it doesn't even matter. Might as well be in the fucking metaverse at this point.
So there's a lot of it's easy to fall into stuff that feels like you're doing work, but you're actually either just knob twiddling and changing settings, which that doesn't piss me off personally. But what pisses me off personally is when people they fall in love with the problem to the point where they don't want to solve it. And it's like, you know how building a house is like satisfying. It's like if you finished the house and then I came back like 6 months later and I was like, so Nick, how you doing? And you were like, well, I'm just redoing this chimney here because it was so much darn fun the first time. Like you build the house again after it's built. People do that with computer work. People do that where they'll just like become obsessed with how difficult, and they'll start to worship the fucking problem.
That's it. Yes, I know what you're saying.
Like, oh my God, this is the most amazing. Oh, look at that, a new difficulty. And then
Do you think it's people's fascination of their own skill set, or maybe the distance they've come from not being able to do that
It's partially that, and it's partially just not being. They're not looking at it from a third person perspective. There's this thing that Gordon Ramsay says called being a busy idiot. You're being a busy idiot right now. It's like if you're peeling tomatoes. The dish doesn't call for tomatoes. Why are you peeling them? Yeah. It's because peeling them, there's like an OCD pleasure to like watching the skin come off, putting the tomatoes in a row, mash the tomatoes into a gel. Oh, this is so much fun. Watch it boil and bubble in the cauldron. Oh my goodness, this is so visually beautiful. Look how red the tomatoes are. Smash them. The dish doesn't call for tomatoes. What are you doing? You're wasting time. No, I'm not. I'm organizing my kitchen. People like lie to themselves about how it's useful. Yeah. That type of thing.
I think it's like no one would ever tell them like just start another one. Start another project.
Or just solve the problem.
Or like, yeah, okay, you want to like rebuild the carburetor again, Don, on your, 280ZX. Like, no problem. Buy a broken carb on eBay and rebuild it if you fucking love it so much. Like, what the fuck? Like, who taught you how to work?
Well, it's like that type of thing, and then it's like that person doing it, he won't even realize the value of having like reliable transportation. It's people who have project cars in their yard for years. Yeah. That's the person.
Yep. And they'll never get checked. And you want to know why that's an uncheckable? Like, I would never stop you, right? Like, I would never be like, Sam, why are you doing that? Why are you fucking, I don't know, like my dad does stuff like changing I changed the tires again. Like, for what? There's nothing. It's like it's like busy work. It's like because you can, but because no one said like, hey, why don't you develop a skill set where you make an outline on something and complete the other things that you could probably do, and maybe knock some of those off or learn a new one, maybe something you haven't done yet. There was one of those kids that I used to work with, and I went to a wedding with the kid. I went to a wedding this weekend, and I had the first time where I got confrontational with someone in like 5 years. There was this little fucking pud in the back. His name was Matty P. And I was like, I was cocked, and I was like, I'm going to fucking tell this kid off. He used to just make my life a living hell. He was a parts manager. So say like you came in, I need to get you like a wiper blade. But it was a rush. Like you were like, Nick, what the fuck? You just sold me the car. The fucking wiper just flew off the back. It happens. I'd have to go to parts. I'd have to grab a wiper blade. Say, give me a wiper. Come on, dude, I need a PO. Now I have to go to another person, get a purchase order, come back to him. Instead of just being like, I'll get it for you after they leave, I have a hysterical in my fucking, like yelling at me that we make piece of shit cars. And he'd be like, nope. He's my age. Yeah. And he's like old enough to know, like he's like a cool beer drinking pud. But like he's cool enough to know like how much of a fucking he's being. So I was like, Matty, he's like, hey, and then he came in and he gave me, you know what? I hate fake empathy. How you been, man? I'm good. You happy you're not working anymore? How you doing? I'm doing all right. And then he said, I'm really glad to hear that you're doing good. I go, you know what, Matt? Why don't you go fuck yourself? And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, you're a fucking. And he's like, what do you mean, dude? I was like, you know what, man? I was like, you don't give a fucking shit about me. You don't give a shit about the fucking shit. You busted my balls for like 3 years. You look at it and fucking beat the shit out of you, to be honest with you, because I'm a piece of fucking shit. And I was like, the old me that gets punked off by guys who are smaller than me, I'll just slap you in the fucking face and I'll make you do something. I'll wait till you get out of work and I'll slap you in the fucking face, like standing right in front of you. And I was like, and he's like, whoa, where is this coming from? And I was like, I don't like you. I was like, I don't like you. No one you work with likes you. You're a pain in the ass and you know better. That's the problem. You're a smart guy. I've talked to you about beer before. I was like, you know what kind of guy in the movie you are. You're like a little fucking head. And then your own guys that you like are fucking losers. Your boss, Lance, is 42. He's got a Wolverine tattoo on his forearm that's 1 year old. That's fucking You're a fucking and my boy Jeff heard it, who works with him, like right with him, and he's like, like he can't believe it. And he's a big kid too, like he'll slap him around too. But so it's not like a fight thing, but I'm like, you need to know that you got to change the way you fucking are, because that whole like, I'm gonna do that, like you're gonna fucking die of cancer, and no one's gonna know your fucking name. And singing me this like managerial response that you're trying to give me right now, buddy, blow it out of your fucking ass. That corporation sucks. Roger Penske's a fucking loser. And I was like, and Manny, like, dude, you're like a piece of shit from West Warwick like me. Like, you're a scumbag. Don't give me this canned speech like, well, I'll try to do, he tried to say like, well, I'll try to do better in the future. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do. You can come in a cup and drink it for all I care, but don't ever fucking come at me like that. I was like, fix how you act. Leave upset tonight, wake up tomorrow and be better. I'm not going to punch you, but I could have. And it was, I felt like really, after I felt really bad in the morning. I was like, you know what? I don't know how to fucking I'm not here to like punk anyone. This is not my style. But, and then Jeff called me, then my buddy called me. He's like, yo, that was the funniest shit ever. He was so happy. He's like, Maddie came into me the next day. He was like, am I really like that? He's like, yo, honestly, bro, you did the right thing, dude. Because no one's going to tell that mother that. When the fuck is anybody going to say that? They'll go to HR immediately on you in this company. Yeah. He was like, when the fuck would that kid ever fucking hear that or give a fucking up? And I was like, I'm not saying it to be a fucking total fuck, but you breeze through a couple of like beatings. Yeah. When I was just trying to hold my job. Damn. But, and then it was just kind of funny.
That's really funny.
But it was like that. He was like a
funny
problem
that he asked him. I really like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Maybe honestly, I hope to God in my heart of hearts for that. I don't want to be, being a tough guy is fucking gay.
People need to know.
Some people need to know, though.
What the fuck?
Tell them.
Yeah.
I like that. Like
once in a while.
Once in a while. Like
if it overpowers you to the point where you like physically think that you need to say it.
Yeah.
It probably is true.
Right. Right, like if you're like, I can't be fake.
I can't hold it anymore.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm not gonna like sit here and be like, oh, I'm really happy you're doing well. Like, no, you're not. You watch my kid die of cancer.
You should try to hold it in, but if you can't hold it anymore, then it's got to be said.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah,
and I love it. And I was like, you know what? I hope more people get to experience that and like don't get to. And I know in the corporate world, you just go right to HR and they just be like, you called him. I'm like, yeah, I did. Call.
Sounds about right.
That camera looks really good.
On my face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Where's that?
Alright. What's up with that?
Oh, the lice cam.
Lice cam.
Make sure you zoom into that on the edit.